Using a book to expand your vocabulary. Vicky Kelty here with another episode of the Language Learning Report Card podcast. And today we are going to take a look at homework that I've assigned students in the past that I have been using with my own Spanish and French practice. Well, as you may have noticed, I mentioned using a book to expand your vocabulary. And that is exactly what the homework assignment is. It's easy peasy, super simple. You read a book. So for Spanish, I read a book by a Spanish author. And for French, I was reading a short story that was adapted for language learners so that it was perfect for my French level. And then what you do as you read is you choose one word that you want to learn. And the idea is to write down that word so that you can use it in the future. It sounds really simple, right? Okay. It is, but maybe it's not quite what I was looking for my own learning. Here are the grades that I gave this piece of homework. For Spanish, ba-da-da-da-dum, that's a drum roll. I gave this homework assignment a 70%. That is a C by our grading system. Just for reference, I use the same 5 questions to grade all of the homework assignments so that everything is always fair and the same with every episode. But a C. It's passing. Okay. But the situation that came up is that I was finding different words. Yes. However, I was not writing them down anywhere. I was reading on a tablet, and so I'm highlighting all the different words, and there's tons of just like, I love this word. I love this other word. Oh my gosh, there's so many words I love. And then they just went to the word graveyard to sit and live forever. I can say that I used one of the words since then. So, yay, bravo to me. But I really feel that I would have used more words had I written them down somewhere and been a little more selective on the words that I had chosen because I was just like in love with every word that I found. I do have a word hoarding problem that I just like to keep all of the words. So I could definitely go through the keep and toss process that I have a blog post on because that would probably help me out in this situation for sure. For French, I am sad to say that I gave it a 40%, which is an F. It did not pass. And why did I give such a low grade to this homework assignment when I did it for French? Well, for similar reasons that I found it difficult to find just one word on each page and limit myself to one word. And I also did not bring any notebook paper or any way to document these words with me while I was reading. And I kept saying, oh, I'm going to go write this down later. Oh, I want to remember this word so that I can put it into my notebook. I never went and got that notebook, you guys. That notebook is sitting here in this room, actually. And the book I was reading is in the living room. So there you go. That's part of the reason that it's a big F. I don't think that I've used any of the words since then, but there were a number of words that related specifically to my life because the story was connected to animals and being at the vet. I'm like, I have two cats. I go to the vet when we need to go to the vet. I could use this information to, I don't know, imagine I travel to France with my cats and we have to go to a vet. Okay, that's a stretch. We probably won't do that. But the point is that it was vocabulary that would actually be relevant. And the big thing about both circumstances was finding the vocabulary that's relevant so that I would use it again, and documenting that vocabulary and not limiting myself to just one word per page and not going overboard, choosing 20 words every page. So, like, there has to be some kind of balance, some kind of control so that it doesn't feel like I don't want it to feel too much like it's work because that's not fun. I like to read, but I don't like to read if it's just work. So I want to find that happy balance of not completely being passive while I'm reading, but not being too much in a study zone with it so that it's still fun. So those are my reflections on this homework assignment. And will I do it again? I for sure will. So with these little changes that I've made, I will definitely be hitting the books again. And one thing that could be really helpful to me is to take this vocabulary and try to use it in the ways that I have available to me, like in my French class or in my Spanish class that I attend, or in Spanish when I hang out with people. And in French, if I was chatting with my husband and I wanted to try and put some of the vocabulary to use, those would be great opportunities. Just like if you were using these homework assignments and you wanted to take your vocabulary that you learned from the book you were reading and put it into practice by using it in your voice message speaking practice response, that would be the perfect way to use the vocabulary that you found in the books that you're reading and make sure that you are remembering the words that you actually want to remember for future use. Alrighty, that is my grade for today's assignment. And if you try this assignment out yourself, be sure to let me know what grade you would give it for your own studying. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye then.